Ah, yes. Welcome. We're back. We thought we'd throw down and do some building here on the PC side since we have access to a mouse and keyboard, obviously. So we thought we'd kind of focus on maybe honing in some of the solo build that we do have, but maybe refining and making some new stuff. I kind of want to experiment a little bit with some aquatic type stuff. You know what's crazy? These get so deep now. I know this is like the new map terrain stuff. We don't have this quite yet, but dude, it's crazy how deep these things get, like right in the middle. You know how like we're kind of used to lakes being like, they're like kind of deep, but not really. Way different. So yeah, we're here. So this applies to everybody, whether you're on PC Rust or console Rust. By the way, if you're running into crashing on any of your systems, I think it's only Xbox systems at the moment. It's the insider program that's causing it. You'll have to uninstall that and then reinstall the old OS, and then maybe have to reinstall Rust. So if you are having the crashing, that's one solution that's been offered up, so at least you can play. What's up? Brooke says, hi, I'm a big fan. What's up, man? Thanks. Hi. Hello. So yeah, we're going to probably make some modifications to the wedge. What I'd really like to do is make a very cheap, and I guess it doesn't really matter that we hide that it's a bunker, and then maybe connect some of the piping in between. And we'll probably use some more, would it be conventional methods? And then we can try some stuff that pushes the envelope for like, like sneaking them through certain areas and stuff. Because a lot of it still does work. Some of it doesn't, but it's getting closer and closer to what we currently have on PC. So not too bad. What's up? Blighted Steel says, huge fan. Thanks, man. Hi. What's up, fellers? And just as a reminder, we do have the quality of life update on PTB. It should be here by the end of the month. And let's see. And then the real question is, what is the testing branch going to be for December? Anybody? Anybody? My guess is either they'll go with a monument, and then they'll go to a vehicle, or they'll go vehicle and then something else. So it could very easily be one of these guys. For testing branch, let me be clear on that. But we'll see. It depends on how hard they want to go. Because we know this has a ton of work already done on it. This is probably the most accessible as far as executing it. And then this one probably takes a bit more finessing. But again, a lot of work's been done on this one too. So kind of have to wait and see how all that shakes out. So yeah, by the time quality of life is done, that'll be the last update for this year that goes to main. But remember, testing branch gets all that stuff a month early. So I'm anxious to see what goes on there. Or if they change the cycle to say, hey, we're going to wait for the holiday. It'd be kind of interesting to see how all of that shakes out. What's up? Pate and Sean says, for monthly... Wait, he said, what did he say earlier? My console PC. I'm going to PC because of watching it. Oh, thanks. So my console will get a PC. Nice. What's up, Lena? Hi. You feeling better? I hope so. It's been a hot second. What's up, Bob? So I know we talked before about, I keep hitting E like it's Factorio. Dude, I got problems. You know what's crazy is, and I don't know if this is kind of a side note for anybody that was watching yesterday. I was on the Evocati build, and I don't know if I lost access to it for streaming it or what, but I saw some other people streaming it, but maybe they just closed it down because they're redoing it. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I noticed today I don't have access to the Evocati, and I was like, brother, what? Again, I'll kind of have to follow up with some of the community managers and see what's up. And maybe they bring me back in, maybe they don't. But if it is, like, because I got banned, I don't know. They'll kind of have to make it a bit more clear, because if some streamers can do it and others can't, I am awfully confused, because apparently we're not on the cool guy list. But again, that's only if we got banned. Maybe they just pulled access because they're still doing it up. But anyways, that was kind of interesting. I went in there, I was like, uh-oh, did I push it too far? Because typically you aren't supposed to do Evocatis, but I've seen recently that there's been a lot of people streaming it, more prominent members in the community. So I was like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll jump in. I couldn't see anything on the spectrum that said to the contrary, so I jumped in. Either way, it's not, we didn't lose access to the main game or anything, but yeah, I certainly hope not. How much time we have in that. But anyways, I just thought it was kind of an interesting update. But we did get to see at least one successful jump last night, even though we knew it was going to be riddled with bugs and stuff. But it was really cool to see. So very excited for that. We'll give you an update a little bit later. Okay, so back to this game. Here's what I'm thinking. You know, before we were talking about, Rob says, I love your Factorio streams. Brother, we're doing it later tonight. Get this. So I think, because remember those big dumb worms, right? They're kind of blocking major resources for research and everything else. Really, we need research from Volcanus to get better weapons on the home world to keep off the hives, because they're at the walls and they're becoming a problem. And I think we're going to get overwhelmed soon if I don't figure that out. So that planet has orange research. Because of that, there's like, tungsten is like in those red zones where the worms are at, and I only know how to sneak in there and sneak out. So I think we'll have to take out a worm. We tried it, very difficult. Because of that, we were looking at its resistance, and I think the best thing to use would be poison, and I think we have poison grenades, so we'll have to try it, because if we can take out a worm, that means we can get to the tungsten, which means we can get to the research. That'll be later tonight. Anyways, I know, right? Yeah, Lena, hopefully you're not still sick. And if you are, hopefully you get better soon, yeah? Because we heard last time, like one of the boys said something, I was like, oh, really? I was like, dude, that sucks. I think minis will be early 25. If that's the case, then we could very well see it in testing on December. So a lot of exciting stuff happening. We have IAE happening in Star Citizen on Friday. Us getting to the Factorio stuff. At least our quality of life updates coming for us by the end of November, and hopefully we get something very exciting. Hopefully it's something like this. I really hope it's this. But I'll take a car. Because then at least Bob and I can make ramps and try to launch over people's walls. You know what I mean? I'd be like, Bob, make the ramp. We're doing it. What's up, Mr. Russo? Yeah, it was just kind of weird. I was checking earlier. I was like, hey, let me see if the PTU got a new build. And it says that the Evocati is still open to wave 1, but then it goes access denied. I was like, uh-oh. Say, brother, please tell me I didn't just get kicked off the Evocati. Brother. Normally that would blow that up. I bet it's pretty damaged though, isn't it? Oh yes. So yeah, anyways, back here to this, just after a quick little update there. It's been a busy day, but you know, before we were talking about the industrial, I keep hitting I like an idiot, or E rather. So okay, it's over in electrical. So before we talked about, sorry, I'm stroking out. Conveyor, yes, and then this, and then this, and then the pipe tool, electric tool, we have that, and then a box. I think we have boxes. We do. Okay, great. Remember before we were talking about having like 3 small bunkers and then connecting it? We tried to do it with like a very like fortified bunker before. We used something like, and I guess we could still make variations like this. I mean, that's why we're here tonight. I'm sorry, this is incorrect. This is stability bunker. What am I doing? Oh my goodness, is that getting super fickle now? There we go. My entity delete is, I don't think my keyboard's messed up. Anyways, you know the stability bunker here. We're trying to come up ways to bring the piping in. So like when you get raided, it's essentially, it moves it to the 3 different locations. If we wire it correctly and we put in the right sensors, we can essentially make a base that has to be rated 3 times for them to get anything. So the idea is, this is cute and all, and we'll probably do something like this as well tonight, but I want to see if we can make a stupid small bunker where it doesn't matter what the exterior looks like. It could look like it's metal, because it won't really matter, because we kind of want them to raid, you know? You know what I mean? Because that way we're not wasting any more resources on anything else. Because if you have to maintain 3 base, I keep hitting E. Oh my goodness. You know what I mean? I just want to see what that's going to cost us and what that would feel like. As once we figure out what a good combination is, I want to see how we can implement that as a solo and kind of take it from there. See what's up. And then any other variations. I'd love to have some kind of water variations, a very tight sub pen, because I think that's very powerful still for us. Because again, we need to utilize every ground/water vehicle transportation we have, and especially for solos. When you're out in the water, guys, I mean, even on a high pop server, you can usually sneak away, as long as you're not in line for the cargo or the oil rig and you're staying out of that, you should be okay. Now, it's not to say some tea bags in a tugboat won't come by, but if you're in a submarine, I think you have a lot more survivability. Anyways, so this is cute and all, but we kind of ran into how do you drag the pipes in, right? So, oh, that's nice. I forgot they added that. Nice, dude. That's so cool. Hell yeah. That's dope. We had a way to like drag it in, but it kind of got a little weird. So here's some other potential ways we could do this. Let me just, I guess we can just put an example over here, I guess. Yeah, getting these new rocks will be sick. I guess we can just do like an example up in the slab out here. I don't see why not. What do you think the hidden content will be for the rest of the quality of life? Is there hidden content on top of that? Budget, Chewy. Yeah, I gotta put a reminder down to hit up the community manager and Star Citizen to make sure I didn't step on any. Because if I wasn't supposed to eat Avocati, it definitely was not clear. And if that's the case, that's fine. I'll just make sure I never touch another Avocati as far as streaming, but I gotta remember to put a note down. I'm just talking to myself. Hopefully I still get to go back on, but yeah. It's like part of me wants to do it on Twitter, but it's like, is that even appropriate to do in like a public space? Do you know what I mean? Kind of like, if you have an argument with somebody, it should probably be, you know, not with a mixed party. If you can help it. Usually, right? I don't know. Am I being weird? Maybe. I keep hitting the E like a freak. Yeah, Factorio is a lot of fun, by the way. I love it. I'm all over the place. Let's see. How did we do this before? It was... I went low. Here, let me just kind of sketch it out. I might just figure this out as we go. So one of the ways we kind of messed with really early before we even got this stuff was this. This will always work, and it will always obstruct anybody coming through. Which was always kind of my fallback. I was like, look, if they patch anything, we can always fall back to this. And I think we kind of have to. I don't know. Can I actually get under that? Oops. I was like, am I in admin mode? Can I actually crouch under? I think I can. Okay, so the cool idea here is somehow that's the exterior. This is the interior. And like, I don't know. We figure out a way to make like really tight shelves and stuff in here. But this is the interior, right? And maybe this is off the corner. I don't know. But the thought was we could always kind of have a door here now that we have beefier doors. But it doesn't matter if they take the door out because it is always the softest point, right? So if we somehow do this, we could have piping come through. And not to mention, still have more storage under here because if somebody comes in here, they can't, you know what I mean? They can't, yeah, they can blow the door, but that's it. They still have to hit through a big boy wall. So I'm like, how do we make this kind of idea as tight as possible? Do we put a triangle out here? Because we don't want these to be very expensive. And I want them to start off as metal. Here, let me show what I'm talking about so it's not as confusing. I keep hitting E like a weirdo. So actually, let me do this so it makes a bit more sense. So like, I don't know, this could be part of the airlock, but like anything further, it would have to be a sleeping bag on the ground, right? And you would have to like wreck yourself to get inside, and you would have to like either make requests or... I just want a way where we can have 3 solid bunkers that always kind of do their thing. As a matter of fact, let me flip this to the inside. This is probably a terrible example, but hopefully you get the idea. So this could be like, I don't know, some of the processing, whatever. You can have your sleeping bag here, but this would be like where TC is. Let me just put an arcade machine down in the, for the time being. Even though it's not super representative of just how big it is, but hopefully it's it'll be enough. Is it miscellaneous? Or is it fun? Is it fun? I think it's just regular items. I want to say it's regular items. Isn't it? Just gonna type it in. We found it. Chip. Alright, so if the bunker was a 2x2, whatever, the TC's here, you could have a really tightly packed room, totally industrial, but literally it's a bunker to the point where you have to wreck yourself to get in. Right? And this is always obstructing the doorway. Whether this is a triangle entrance or a square entrance, whatever, we'd have more boxes down here. But the idea is you could wreck yourself in here and always like make the connection to drag it in, right? So like if you had more boxes on the interior, let me just put something down so it makes a bit more sense so I don't sound completely insane. I even know, you know, nothing wrong with that. Can I get it right there? That slope's killing me, dude. Alright, we'll just say it's this. But like this way, we could at least get connections happening by just respawning and stuff. Which, by the way, didn't they say... What's up, Bio? Brother, I don't know if I lost access to the Evocati or not, but I checked it today and it was like access denied. I was like, uh-oh. I might be jumping to conclusions and maybe it's nothing. But do me a favor. Did you have access to Evocati? Let me know if you can get in it. I'd be interested to know. So like this way, at least we can make pipes. You know what I mean? That's the idea anyway. We can connect it. I don't know, is this supposed to sprint stream that if that's the case from yesterday? Bio. Anyways. So yeah, you can kind of see. So even if they slam this thing, they still can't get in. It's still a straight raid. So hopefully by the time they get into this point, the machine's already offloading the contents to the other base. That makes sense? Do I sound completely nuts? I mean, more than usual. Is it shift to hold to surface? It says, hi, Bio. Hi. The other question is, I know there's like super compact bunkers. What was one of the other bunkers we were thinking of? Drawing a blank. Was it the vending machine bunker? I know the offsets kind of work. We're in a weird space in our version. Maybe we should just focus on this one because we know it always works. We just need to make this as compact as possible. Whatever this looks like. Ooh, I know. What if we mess around with a hatch frame that's really obstructed? So essentially what we're looking for is legitimate ways to make gaps that are unpassable. So we can work either just a wreck yourself bunker or a standard stability bunker. I think the tightest stability bunker we could possibly make is, and I don't even think we can do a pass-through because of the stability part. Unless, ooh, wait a second. I forget, there's another bunker type that's back again. Let me see, let me just sketch it out over here real fast. It'd just make more sense for me to do it this way. Instead of sounding like a nut job, I'd be like, it's like this, but awesomer. I want to say, remember the one that was like the roof tile and then you go low and then high? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on this. What's up, Ryan? What's up, baby? I'm talking about, I want to say it was this and then a frame. Oh, hang on, I made notes. I think I gotta reference it because it's about the procedural corner from this. When this is stone, it's starting to come back to me now. Hang on, I still might have to check my notes. No, is that right? Oh, it is. There we go. We got it to pop. That's it. This is the mechanic we're shooting for. Yes, okay. So when these are fully upgraded, it brings it back down. That's it. And then... and then you break this. And it goes out fully. I think that's right. Something like that. And then we need this like a high foundation. Then it's the stability off this. Okay, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me. And then this will knock it down? Question mark? That's right. Okay, so this foundation keeps the stability on one frame. Okay, so we gotta make a pit. We're getting there. I meant to be a full. And then this one's kind of nice, if I can work this one out, because it allows you to have like a shotgun trap in place. So if someone gets close, it just snaps it off. You know what I mean? Like it goes off and it just goes boom. But let's not forget, now that we have remote C4, we do have a really crazy option to just knock the stability out, but it's a very expensive bunker latch. Yeah, let's see if this works. It should. Yeah, essentially it just sticks off this foundation. So this is how we're riding it. Did I just mess it up? Did I just break it? I think I might have. Then when we break it, does it come off of that? We'll come back. We'll come back to this. I'm not sure. Put a pin in it. Oh, by the way, the new update for PC here, if you're an admin, there's ways to copy structures, so you don't need a mod to like, that'll make this building process so much easier for us. I don't mind doing it by hand all the time, but there's sometimes where you're like, hey, it would be nice if we could iterate and just copy paste like we do in Fortify. So hopefully that's robust enough that we can do something with it. So here's my other thought with this guy. If we can make something really tight, right? Like maybe it's this, you know, and then that, and then maybe the high side, and then the main part of the base is right there, and then this little goofy door thing is here, and then we could reach in. I wonder, would this actually be a possibility? Hold on. Still essentially 2x2, isn't it? So all we need is just different ways to block the door. Any suggestions, by all means, throw them in the chat. Stuff that has like hard sides. This one's cute, but it kind of makes the interior of this kind of rough. If we did this, whatever this looks like, you know, whether it's this, I saw a drop and I was like, go get it, wait a second. We could even leave this off for a period of time until like you have everything. You want to seal it up. Essentially this makes it so this is completely blocked. The question is, what is the cost on this shit? What's up, Sargentos? What's up, buddy? Sorry if I didn't see that till just now, which that was like 5 minutes ago. Yes, I'm sorry. Boot? Yeah, so Bio, if you're there, if you're gonna do Evocati PT, I'd say wait, because I'm not sure if I got canned for it. It looks like I can do the other stuff. I can't do Evocati. Either way, I don't want to be kicked out of Evocati. So that I understand, locked in. Yes. Yes. And then if we come up with some decent solutions here, I'd love to run it on a wipe on a real server to see how hard we get pounded. That's what she said. This isn't a terrible option. We just need to sort out how we're going to put the piping through. Anyways. If it's this here, like what does this cost? Even if it's just metal. And do we have enough room to do what we need in here? And then we could just leave space for the door, right? I mean, technically you don't even need a freaking big boy door. We throw some boxes under here, make that totally industrialized. The other question is, what's our airlock look like? Do we have it on the top and just kind of go out this way? And we always just kind of sink in? Question mark? Maybe, right? Because that would save us a little bit of space. If we have a jump up, we can just use part of the ramp on one of these sides, maybe. What would that look like? Could we do something like that? Is that crazy? Am I crazy? You're crazy. What? If that's the case, then we can make that a full-blown wall that doesn't have to be half. Let's just see what the metal version looks like first. Right, because it doesn't matter if you come in and get a soft side on that. You're like, yeah, who cares? So TC's here. If we made this big boy doors, I think we could still put a bench in there, right? Austin says, I found out tomorrow if I have surgery or not. Alright, well, good luck, sir. Hopefully it's, if you do have it, it's nothing too crazy. But yeah, that can be some serious stuff. Sergeant knows all about it. You, Sergeant. At some point, if you want to, if you have like a number on what it would have cost without insurance for that stent, I would love to know. Like, to just be like, wow, how crazy is insurance and the medical stuff just getting? You know what I mean? Like, I know you have really good coverage, but... Or ballpark. I don't know, personally. I would love to kind of see what that number looks like. Because, like, even, like, small things is, like, absurd. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine what that would have been. Yeah, so if we implement this, we can eventually add these. The thought is we have, like, an inbox here, maybe? Maybe it's just built into the floor at some point. As long as we can kind of reach this still, throw a bag down and maybe get to the different latches, that's key. Anything we're going to use that feeds this, we need to be able to place here when we spawn in and then have more mechanics on the interior. So, okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm like, dude, it has to be nuts. You know, even like the most basic things, you're like, is how much? You know what I mean? Like, ambulance rides are freaking stupid high. Can I get that right? Can I get that right there? Ooh, brother. Look at that. What else can we skis in here, guys? Wait a second. Guy, wait a minute. It just occurred to me. I don't know why I didn't think of this. Hold on. Feel free. I know I'm kind of super focused at some point, but like, if you have ideas as we're doing this, throw them in there. Bunker types that are really good for like small construction costs and upkeep. Even some medium to large ones. I'm down for that. You know, there's staircase bunkers, vending machine bunker, there's stability bunker, there's an offset bunker. You know, anything. Throw them in the chat. This is a brainstorming session. I'm down. So we got, I don't know, I didn't think of this before. Can we squeeze these in here too? That would be so sick. I think 100% we can. 100% we can. Oh my goodness. This feels This feels illegal. What else can we fit in this? You get a little cook machine in there, dude? Yeah, the other question, if we have furnaces, we could yeah, you know what? Let's work that out. We gotta figure that out. We got to. Furnacios, because initially you're gonna have furnaces, obviously. And maybe they're upstairs, you know? Like, they don't have to be in the bunker necessarily, but the electric ones probably should be. If we make, like, doors and stuff here, can we still get to this? It's just really important that we have the ability to, if we lose our sleeping bag on the interior, at least we can drop in and place one if we need to. As a matter of fact, let's test that, shall we? The thing that's gallbladder. Ooh. I mean, any surgeries. You know? I've never had to do, like, a surgery, but I've had friends, and, dude, I would sweat it the same way. Knock on wood, I don't want to jinx myself. Sorry, I saw you said Lena. Butt cheeks. Cause remember we made like area TCs too that were like really condensed, and we could put like cameras in them. Cause we know we can fit a lot in that square. We know we can. Like for a fact, we know we can. So yeah, this is what I love about Rust. I love building this. The other question is, what do we do with this space here with that triangle? Yeah, can we still place here? No way. Come on, don't tell me. No, dude. You have to be able to place that. Say what, dude? It's not going to let you place that? Hang on, let me get rid of this. Really? It got that strict? No. Really? Ah, well, maybe we just gotta play it real careful, like. That's nuts. I guess we gotta keep it like over here so they don't burn it out. So, I mean, if we have industrial pieces here, we can always vacuum it out if we have a major problem, I guess. Yeah, it looks like the bag's gotta be there. That's concerning. This is a ironclad bunker then. I mean, we'll just go forward with this. We can still make adjustments. I just want to see how cheap we can make this. That's crazy. That's so crazy. I don't think we have that restriction on ours yet, but that's a nice look into the future. Like, we shouldn't count on it because it's going to go away. Is essentially what I'm saying. Man, it's really breaking our balls. I do the same thing we did under here, right? Yeah. That way we can still place, because this is the most important thing. If this doesn't work, then we're screwed. Anything that goes in and out, we have to be able to place here so the person inside the bunker can then pass it through. And we should have the sleeping bag away from that spot, because if somebody breaks in, breaks the door, and they kill your bag, then your bunker is just going to melt. Yeah, so this would be ideal. Plus, anything off these corners would help stop any garbage that comes through. And they gotta splash that if they really want to get crazy. But then it's like, you still gotta raid that frame to get in. Alright, what's our cost looking like? Honestly, not bad. I'm kind of looking at this like, and I guess you can add the honeycomb if you really want to, but the idea is to make something very small and compact and cheap so that you can do 3 of these. Perhaps we're going to have to make some adjustments. Oops, I made that metal. My bad. Alright, let's put a lid on it. Let's just kind of figure out how we're going to do the airlock part of it. I don't know what to do with this. Suggestions? Anyone? Anyone? We could actually. This could be like another form of storage or sorting or even like manufacturing. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy. If we want to, like maybe this just stands as like a wood piece, and then maybe you knock it down if you want to make the decision. I don't know. It's a thought. Oh, I got the frontier piece. Hold on. Trying to make it more standard. We can make some sort of airlock. Maybe our furnaces go up here. And then maybe we have some kind of jump up or something. I kind of hate having a blind side like that. It might be unavoidable. Maybe we just leave it wood, and then, you know, if this isn't always like popped into, we should be fine. But technically, this all could still be just, you know, maybe it's always kind of sits like this. The brick is nice looking, isn't it? I hope we, jeez, I just want, I hope we get building skins. Speaking of, what do you think? As the most basic, we could utilize that space a lot more here with the drop down. We put boxes above us, below us, gives you a little bit of an airlock here. What's our cost looking like? Let me get doors on this. See what this looks like. I know we're gonna tweak it, but let's see what this feels like for a standard. He says you can put crates on a hatch frame in a weird was if it's twig. Okay, okay. I like the suggestion. Let's see. What do we got? Yeah, because we can do a lot of crazy stuff with that. Plus, these kind of weird gaps here. Let me see if I can just generate something goofy. Anything with a gap that would fit a pipe, and I mean anything, that's fair game, and especially if we can tighten it up. Like this right here, also ideal because it's going to stop the player no matter what, and then this is a hard side, and they have to deal with it. Let's flip that. So like, let's say this is all like high quality metal. Like, I can still open the door and use and connect piping, and there will be a door here, but they literally have to break the wall to get in. And if you're worried about them getting into the base, then you just make like a bend or a corner, and it's like, okay, they can launch rockets into what, an empty wall, you know? They still have to break it to come all the way in. So anything that creates this, whether it's stairs, ladder, hatches, weird combinations of frames, this is what we're leaning on, I think, for this. Maybe we just leave that little example up. That's a pretty good idea. Maybe we'll just build those examples off this corner or something. Oh, yeah. I'm not opposed to it. What do I have here? Is it straight? And then two triangles and then straight. I'm trying to keep some symmetry, but I feel like that restricts my building creativity. I like it though. I like where your head's at with the ladder hatch. I think we could do something good with that. There's the staircase bunker too, but And I don't want to, I would still want to experiment with it because I'm sure we'll get something out of it, but staircases can be soft-sided at one side, so if we can somehow restrict it. But I guess it's not that well known that staircases have a soft side. Softy. A lot of times working anything with procedural with the rooftops is extremely powerful, especially if we can work that into a twig section that we can knock down. This isn't a bad variation. I think if we can get a working model, we can get another one of these close and just kind of see how that would feel for the mechanism, even though we may or may not use the whole thing right now. This will kind of help us work out some of the kinks. Because all the important stuff should be metal on the interior, so we're looking at, okay, not even a metal node, not even a complete stone node, and not even a tree. Times 3, that's manageable. This is also, you can sleep underwater with scuba. You just need to put it on before you suffocate when you wake up. For at least an hour, hour and a half. Ooh. Well, hopefully everything goes as planned, and it goes well for you, Austin. Sorry to hear that, man. And even with just metal, you don't necessarily have to go high quality. Like, I think you could get more mileage out of metal because if the detection system works, the whole point of it is it moves the stuff out of here. Because remember, 2 metal walls is still tougher than freaking high quality. So, much easier to maintain as well. Yeah, if we're going to make a down piece that's like this, I want to have a lot of utility out of it. Maybe we make it like a triangle. But anyways, if we can get this to work with another one close by, that would be ideal. So we kind of know how this is. So I'm going to pop a couple tiles so we can kind of see what's on the interior here. I'll leave a couple of these open. Very low cost. We can fit quite a bit in here. It is concerning that we can't place a sleeping bag like that. Because if somebody's on Rust console right now, or you in Builder's Paradise, let me know if this position here, with no door, you can place a sleeping bag on the interior. I'm fairly certain we still can. If you can, great. This is, nice, Austin, nice. Let's try to put one over here, and then we can try to connect these guys. See what that feels like. Oh, I keep looking to the left because the building privilege is on the right-hand side. Duh. I'm thinking for a second. Okay, so... And I'm probably putting the cart well before the horse, but I was like, what if we keep it on the same grid as this and we have a system where each of them are kind of bending into the other, creating the area TC, you know, to kind of give you anti-grief protection, but we're just testing the mechanism, but would it be worthwhile for us to make the mechanism? Maybe. Maybe. I guess it doesn't have to be lined up if we push it, right? I'm going to try to line it up. If we spend more than 5 minutes on it, then I'm not going to worry about it. We'll just kind of take that as it comes. I see uneven terrain. Okay, let's just do it this way then. I don't have to worry about knocking those frames out. Okay, so it looks like our privilege ends right about here. A little further. What am I standing on? There it is, right here. So if we kind of build, it's really right here. Let me put a box down. Our furnace. Yeah, because we want to be as close as possible, obviously. Obviously. Oof, it's right in there. Okay, yeah. Let me put it like right there. Because then we can box build this way. Because then what that means is the distance between two TCs is actually pretty easy to cover with the regular pipe distance. Alright, Austin. Take it easy, man. Alright, so now this one is going to be acting kind of like an area grab TC. Kinda. We could probably leave this one kind of open because we're trying to work out the mechanic for the system. See how it's going to work. And see if there's anything that's going to make this not possible. We'll make this metal in a little bit. Good news is I'm an admin, so I can fly around and update it. Alright, so this is going to be a realistic TC covered. Should probably put real supplies in there so we don't decay. And if we can get these two working together, then we can add the third. Because, like, look, these are close. You know what I mean? But they're not going to be splashed. And that's a beautiful thing. You can do a lot with this. It's always good to fully work these out, too. Like, because there could be some extra stuff we're not really seeing. Always happens. And again, if you're feeling pretty good, you can always throw up, you know, honeycomb on these, and then it really becomes annoying. Then if you make them identical, then they gotta be like, which one, where's the loot at? And you're like, brother, it changes every time. And so I think the best way to do this is prioritize explosives, because that's, you don't want anybody ever raiding you to get any explosives, because then they get to raid for cheaper, essentially. So that should be the, we'll test it with that first. We'll test it with a realistic amount of stuff to see if it could do that. And what's crazy is, I guess we could save the thing and see if it actually moves it. I guess we don't have to destroy everything. But if we did, we can always save it and then restore. But that's going to take like 10 minutes. Oot. Helps if I... Oh no, okay, I'm good. I thought I didn't have room. I was pretty sure it was going to give me an error message if I didn't have room. We're good. Yeah, and the other question is, where do we stick our solar panels? Probably just on top, right? Probably just on top? Probably just on top. Solar panels. Plop. I mean, we could run this off of freaking car batteries, too. And we might, honestly. Yeah, that's the other thing, is where do we stick that medium battery, breh? Breh. That is super scary, though, that maybe the sleeping bag is just pieced. You're like, what do I do? That is terrifying. Very. Honestly, we could make a cupboard for this here, you know, before you leave. And there's just like a battery in there. And then this wall is 100% protected with the new loot room on top. That's just stone or something if you really need the space. Not a huge deal. So the biggest thing when doing this, I think, obviously you're going to need to protect your different joints. Just having it on the interior here is good. I want to see if it even reaches the other side, to be honest with you. When are wipes unofficial monthly? Should be the last Thursday of this month, which is not this Friday or Thursday, but the next. Kind of a long month. Okay, so if we had this here, we do have a window on the side, so that could come in handy, sure. Some type of regular door. The question is, what kind of piping could we do here? Do we just go get and just drape it across and we don't care? We have 9 meters left? That's kind of good. That's kind of great, actually. The question is, do we have enough to bend it? We'll test it like this and then see what options we have to make it kind of bend around corners. That's kind of a lot. Now if we had it from window to window, and we had a window on the other side, that wouldn't be the worst thing. Okay, now I'm curious. What happens if we have like something like this? Does this work? Let's just go out. Helps if I, oh, I guess I could lay it and then just switch it. I hope we have that mechanic, huh? With the wrenches. We did about 15 across, so the question is, can we do this in 10 meters or less? I don't know. I mean, either way, it's showing up. So maybe we do just drape it across, because it's like, yeah, it's like soap getting wet. This does fit, though. It gives you a little bit of leeway. So you could technically drape it underground a little bit if you wanted to. Right? Especially if this one's higher than the other. It's not as obnoxious as the other one. Especially if you make this like white or something, if it matches the paint. So, yeah, that's not bad. You'd have to get very close. But it's doable. Let's not forget, you can also put a lot of other pipes elsewhere to kind of confuse the situation. That's not bad. You can stick rugs on there. You can really do some stuff with that. And that gives us about 3 meters of leeway. That's not the worst thing. Let's make this one red. Make the other one green. Green piping's nice, dude. There's a lot you could do to hide that. As long as you're very direct with the piping, I think you'll be okay. Now we could even put it on the interior here, but that 3 meters has got to be really, you know? Pipe. And honestly, if you don't care, you just have them drape across, because it's pretty obvious what's going on here. We just want to make sure this can detect what we want it to. And then we're pretty good. Okay, solar panels on the roof. Cheers. Northeast, southwest, northeast. Yeah, all day coverage. nice solar panels on the top. No one's gonna know. Oops, I turned on my auto run. Get out of there. Ooh, you know what sucks? If you have that as a triangle, you literally have to place this beforehand. That's, well, I'm sure we'll figure out a way to make that more streamlined, but not having the square to place at is rough. Let me bring my keyboard back. There we go, that works. Oh, maybe that's like furnaces or something, whatever. But now that we know that works, let's see what the rest of this is gonna look like. Yeah, even if we have another airlock here in the front, we could use that 3-point to like get it in the front door. You know what I mean? As long as these are like on the floor. Yeah, because 3 meters is about the width of a tile on one side, right? Did we figure that out? It's about 3 meters. Yeah, it's about 3. Alright, so the next question is, where do we stick the detection unit? And we are so close, they could overlap each other too. Huh. Oh, that's dope. It's like a vault. That's cool. Okay. So let's get a box configuration that makes sense, that's very usable, that we use on the regular. So this one is the formation. We could technically have a little box here. Maybe this is where like C4 and stuff sits. Whatever that looks like. Maybe that's our go box when it goes off. I'm thinking about how we'd have this closed off. And we almost have to have that floor in place. That's going to make it big difficult while we're building it, isn't it? Huh. We could just temporarily pipe it. Wait, can we see it from the side? Maybe we just do that to start. And then we leave this open until we're ready to seal. Because, like, you want to be able to get in and out, you know what I mean? Let me see what this looks like. Is this possible? We just put it in place now so we don't have to worry about it. I broke it? Did it break it? Shut up. Is that even connected? Oh, it just breaks the pipe. Man, they've gotten pretty crazy with it. If it's not in range, it ain't having it. Yeah, dude, they're really cock blocking us on this one, huh? Damn, dude. Let me think. We can still do it, but it's just not ideal for what we're trying to do. We should probably just muscle ahead so we kind of know what the mechanism looks like. I'm just trying to think of, like, as you're building, you don't want to be fucking around with a blocked floor for too long. You want to get everything in place and then seal it off, like when you go offline. Then you work on it from there. I have another solution for it, so I think we'll be fine, but there's no way you can stick a door on that, right? Okay, never mind. We totally can. I guess that works. Oh, that's the connector. That could work. Until you're ready to seal. And then that way you can kind of stick furnaces back here, do what you gotta do, put boxes, so on and so forth. And this can kind of be your little pit of despair. Well, you can also start wiring this up as you go. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought. Where is it? Probably stick this right here. That would probably work. At least you can get out. And technically, hold on a second. What if we did this? Pipe. Man, they're really clamping down on how we do builds, huh? It's like blocked by wall, blocked by line of sight. You can't place there. So actually, unlootable rooms are a thing now. Because you could put the thing behind a deal. Well, that's something to think about too. Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe this is stupid, maybe it's not. I don't know. But couldn't we technically fit one of these down here? That open things up for us. Hold on. Let me see what I can fit. We have a full side, which gives us a lot of flexibility. It's your boy, Skinny Penis. Right? So you can push things out. No way? Just a thought? Maybe it's stupid. We put a furnace right here. We can kind of use this temporarily. I mean, technically, we could put a furnace here and do the in and out thing like we did previously. Yeah, we'll put a pin in it. It's not the worst thing, but... So we have some room on this back wall for the mechanism. This probably might be the best place for it, to be honest. So, if memory serves me correctly, we're gonna need a battery. Battery. I guess taking stuff out of the bunker. You kind of want this reversed. Reverse, reverse. Yeah, but you might want the length of it to be in here. I guess somebody could jump on it regardless. I guess it really doesn't freaking matter. Not too low, not too high. Does it still fit? Oh yeah, there's not because there's a furnace. Right. Right. So wait, if it detects that, let's just put a generator outside until we solve this. I can't remember what it was off top. Thinking like 50 steps ahead, I need to chill out. Okay, that goes off, sends a signal over here, and then this should be the one that hits set. Yes. Right. Then our conveyor that pushes out is what needs to be activated. And honestly, once they destroy this, the first shot could destroy this wall. It won't matter. You know, it just won't, because if that goes off, the signal's already sent. You know what I mean? So then our evac module will be here. And that dumps into the other side. Right? Yeah, so even if they blow this wall off, we'll still have time before they blow through the next 2 doors slash wall. 3 doors. Right? Even if they know the mechanism's right there. And we could technically slide this on the interior on the platform, so even if they're blowing out walls, they're not going to have enough time before this gets sent. Yeah, okay. That's what we're going to do. We maybe stick this on the upper frame here, and then that extra 3 feet we have, meters, we just put it on that lip. What's up? He says, how do you get the wire to drop down and change color? Yeah, the drop down took me a hot second. It's, so if you have it like this, you hold shift and scroll up or down. And then you can place, but I'm holding shift and rolling up. And then if you want to change colors, you hold reload on the wire, and then hit the node, and then just hit R again, reload. It'll change the color. Same with pipes. I know, extremely useful. That's sweet. I know we'll get it eventually, but I don't think it's in quality of life. But to be fair, I didn't really try. Yeah, so the best way to, because this joint here, so if once somebody figures out what kind of base this is, I'm thinking way too far ahead. They'll be like, I'll pop this and this joint's broken, and then it kind of nullifies the whole thing. We can just weave it in here on this lip, and it's like, even if you are big D in it and you throw a C4 on these, this sensor is going to go off regardless. And maybe the sensor should be on the ceiling. Can we place on the ceiling? Hell yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll place on the ceiling. So the likelihood of them hitting this on the first hit, like if they know where it's at, like, you know, a stream sniper, it won't matter, because by the time that goes off, and even if this gets destroyed, this is still activated and then setting the loot over there. And then we can have a callback system where if they're trying to volley it, what we could end up doing, which we should do, actually, we don't even need to make the callback system. It's built in. So the way this works now is, because we tried it last time, and it was like, it was literally in the cloud. The way this is sent over now, let me just get an example up here so we kind of know what we're looking at. Because it doesn't take long. By the time you 2C4, the time it takes for it to go, everything in that box is going to be gone. So even if they know exactly where everything is, it's not going to matter. They're going to have to raid this thing twice. You know what I mean? And it's like, is it going to be worth it? Pussy? So what's going to happen here is, this is the evac module. We'll just make it yellow or orange or something. So what's going to happen is, even if this wall blows out, it sends the signal from here to this. Then it's on, right? Then this is always going to be going and moving. And so what happens is once they figure out their sensors, they'll hit this one and go, okay, everything's going to be over here, right? So when this sensor goes off, we can just have this one send it back over there. Do you know what I mean? And it just kind of endlessly loops back and forth. The question is, do we put a counter on this? Like if we can make some kind of detection system where it goes, look, if one shot goes off here, and then they raid this, and there's like multiple hits, then this one stops sending. Do you know what I mean? We could do that. But right now, if they juggle it now and they hit this and then decide to hit this, the loot goes back and forth, like continuously. So when they go in here, eventually they're gonna break the system. So like they're still like the loot's always moving. When they're both active, that's probably the worst position to be in because it's constantly going back and forth, so you don't know what's where. And then maybe after so many counts of hits, yeah, maybe we do that after the count. It stops the other. Which I think we can get a counter on that. You know? So like if this is starting and it's active, maybe as this one keeps detecting more and more raids, it sends a count or a signal over here. And once it reaches a certain amount, this one stops, which means everything over here is going to come back to this one. Yeah, that's the way to do it. So I'm trying to think of a sick way for us to do a count. I think like 6 explosions, maybe 4 explosions, would make this one come back over here. And then if this one detects an explosion again, it opens up the valve, and then it'd have to be another 6 for it to come back here. That's kind of a good way to do it. That would block it out. So if someone's trying to volley it, the system's like, yeah, nice try. I'm trying to think of a mechanism we could use to count. Anybody? I know there was like an old school way to put a bunch of logic together, but that's kind of wild. I mean, there's a counter. Can we use it to... can we read the counter value off of it? I don't think that's how it works. Let's try. I can't remember. I know we can count on it, but it's more for like... You know what I mean? Set target value for power to pass through. That's an interesting. Let's I keep hitting E. Because if we can get the count going. We could do it like this. Alright, it's starting to come together now. Oops, I hit space. Increment. Okay, so what do we have it set at? Like 10? So one burst comes through. There you go. Second burst. On 10 it should go on, right? The real question is, where is the power coming through, guys? That'll do it. All right, we got the counter. Yeah, it totally works. So, this having a timer switch converted to 1 second, and then it taking a signal from here. What's happening now is we have this. Actually, this would work quite well for this. Actually, if this dude here takes this side, this will make it only the detectables we care about. And this is the new counter. Hell yeah, dude. Science. Alright, and then we have a button to clear it. That's it, we got the counter. We got the loop. Did it. We did it, boys. Okay, so what's happening here is this guy is still sending a signal. Yellow or orange is the activating. We still need a red switch, don't we? Yeah, we do. Remember, this isn't a toggle. This is like straight up. Okay, so let's get something that would piss this thing off. This SKS? This... That looks so much crazier with the dangling. So in theory, every 2 hits in this guy's range will activate this. Hot. Also, we could have a wireless signal or just another cable that goes back from there that sends a signal back to this. Let's see if it counts. So it goes in here, sends a signal off. That's 2 more. Did I make it? You know what? That's gotta be closer. There we go. %, that works. So maybe if we wanted the other type of explosive, maybe, we would do this. A splitter, possibly, as opposed to the branch. This branch might be soaking more when it sends off the signal, right? Because technically when it makes the connection, it's sending off too. I guess maybe the splitter doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, because when it powers this, Yeah, it does, because this branch is determining... We're actually soaking more. Okay, okay, I get it, I get it. Let's put it as a splitter. That way... Oh, I still got that in area? What? Since when did these do that? Oh, wait a second. If I throw this here, does the roof take damage? I guess if it's loose on the ground, it could. Okay, well, that's good to know. Is that new? I feel like that's new. Or maybe we just never tried it on the ground like that before. Okay, this should get us where we need to go for the count. Oh, Michael and Dale. So that should turn it on. Okay, let's try that. Now this should pick up the or not. Unless I have my numbers off, and I might. Do I have them off completely? I must have it off. I'll have to do something to boost that signal then instead of just taking it off the split. I mean, C4 is going to work. No doubt. Is it because it's splitting it evenly now? Yeah, we might have to... We're going to have to manage that one directly. Because that's nutty. We're going to have to throw that into an AND tree, I think. What is the range on this again? Do I have it too tight? Maybe. Should detect this. Because I think this shows up as like 3. I think the splitter's messing it up. I think it's messing it up, bruh. I don't. We can only do 2 on this, right? Oh, I guess you can do 1. Okay, that worked. Well, it's good to know we can do separate counts for like bullets. Huh. We could. That's totally, that totally could be a thing. I want to have snack. You want a snack? Yes? Snack a snack? Ugh. But if we stick it to 2, I don't think it'll take any of it. That is... Oh, it does. What if we switch it? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so if this is going to consume every one, this has to go to the switch. Because then that's how we kind of squeeze that extra value. Yeah, that's going to be it. For sure. What's that at? 5? I bet the C4 works now. That's how we get the counter going. So we can make it very smart, actually. We put the range up, yes. Perfect. So the reason why this works this way and not the other way, remember this is a priority. So when it goes off, this always will send off the 2 over to this guy, which then in turn turns this on. But if it is this, yeah, we have like 2 sensors for the whole setup. That's kind of hot. So you would know, so the question is, as far as how many shots of explosive rounds would be threatening? 20? 30? Right? Obviously, C4, the first one is threatening. But like, if someone's spraying a couple rounds of explosives at your base, you want it to count it. You don't want it to be like, oh, the first one sets off the meter, right? Yeah, so maybe the count for the explosive rounds goes upstairs in the big box, because there's just going to be extra space maybe we don't have. But the one that's counting, what do you call it, freaking C4 or satchels, that one should be in closer, tighter, and obviously it's more threatening after those go off. And the other question is, well, I guess satchels, are they in the same tier? I kind of forget. Let's have a test. I'm going to take a leak. I'll be right back. So I'm wondering, let's just throw a little test area here, because this might be, so we're not destroying all the build that we did. Blocked by player Tyron. You guys know brick is stone tier, right? Alright, so the way I see it, when we're getting raided, obviously somebody's shooting explode rounds. You don't want it to 1, 2, 3, or 10 explode rounds aren't that threatening. A bunch of them back to back are threatening. So we need a counter for explode rounds. We need a counter for explosives. Rockets, C4 should be at a certain tier of like, okay, that's a lot. The real question is, just take that backpack on. Yeah, the real question is, how much can we distinguish? I know that like a bunch of stuff is on a certain tier. So obviously C4 and rockets are threatening on the first hit. But I think something like, you know, a couple satchels, then maybe it activates, and then obviously a handful of not SK rounds, but explode rounds would also put us in that tier as well, where you're like, okay, now it's threatening. So because of that, let's kind of plan accordingly. Let's put the industrial lights down. So these take, I think it's at 1 or 2 apiece. Okay, 1, perfect. So hopefully, if we can get this figured out. Can we rotate now? Oh, thank goodness. Alright, so would it be red, green, blue? This way we can kind of see what all this stuff does to you. Yeah, let's put it on this side, because then we can at least see it. Green. And red. Yeah, let's just stick it right here. This would be more than enough. The output from this goes here. Because obviously, you don't want frag grenades, F1 grenades to really send anything off, right? Because that's not really that threatening. Okay, so let's do C4. So SKS and C4, I'm sorry, satchels are the same. Interesting. Okay, how about this one? That should be red. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, is there another tier above that? If there is, let's just put a blue one down. I think it just goes up to 3, but I could be wrong. And then let's do rock cheese. I think frag grenades will just do like the low tier stuff. Yeah, so that does count. So these are the same as satchels. Interesting. Do these count? I didn't think so, but it was worth a shot. High caliber revolver. Kinda dope. Rock cheese. Go get it. High velocities. Where does that put us? HVs are in the first tier, as they should be. What about Incendy boys? Okay, same. Okay, that's where I thought it was. I think flashbangs are in tier 1 as well. Annoying. So, yeah, the other question is, how many satchels and how many expo rounds are threatening, and under what time? Because we can't distinguish between those, unfortunately. So that's a thing. What else am I missing out of this list? I think that's it. Right? Like flashbangs, but I don't think that'll register. And if it is, it's gotta be tier 1. Isn't it a weapon? A weapon? Nope, doesn't count. Perfect. I just had to get those values. So essentially, what's happening now is we're going to put down one of these guys. So this one will be set to 1. Just get like a splitter or something. Hold on. Splitter. 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 I think this is what we want. Pretty sure. Perfect. How much range do we have at? 30? We'll call this 32. Yeah, that's good, that's good. So each of these sensors are going to be picking up their own thing. Maybe we can put it into one, but I kind of want to hone this down to make sure we've got this count right. So essentially we're going to count the green tier and then the red tier. Obviously the red tier is the most devastating. So the first tier would be, this would be set to 1, and then these are set to 2. Right. Right. I guess we'll put the counter right there. And then we'll say, this is the stronger one, so like, I don't know, 1 or 2 of those will be more than enough. We'll just say 2 because we want it to count. Because it automatically starts at 1. And then we'll say for satchels, we'll say 5 is a crazy amount. I'll put a reset button under that. Hello. We'll use a regular wire. We'll just hook it up. I was on the other side before. Oh, that works out. Set target. 5. So satchels and like, yeah, maybe 6. That's kind of threatening, but then it will have a cooldown. That's what we're gonna kind of sort out here. All right, so whatever's left over goes to the counter. So we'll make that pink. Wait, is that right? We put... I know, that goes to our sensor. Pfft, what am I doing? This goes to the sensor and then comes back. This comes from the sensor. Let's make the dangerous one red and then the other one orange. So that way we kind of know what's what. So like they're both hot colors, but you know, obviously the orange is dangerous, but not as red hot. Then we'll have the orange cable go out this way too to that device. That fancy device. Same with red. These are in the same cluster, so I think we can probably put this in a line and make it one sensor, because obviously, you know, you want it to be cheap. Obviously. Okay, so no matter what, when the circuit's on, the red's powering the first sensor, and this is powering the other one. This is counting it as it goes. Ah, power in. We probably should have a splitter for this on the bottom, hey? right? Like this should go to this, this, right? And then we should have the logic circuit hit this. Yes. Because we need to power that as well. And then the output from this, which is accurate, right? Because it's 2 off of the main set, so this should go to set, which means activates. And let's go ahead and make it follow this. So the more dangerous tier is red, correct? Correct. Yes. So when the red light goes off, that's the threshold for the dangerous explosives, which should be the output. Right? And then this powers the rest of this, which should be more than enough. Doesn't have to be that. Probably just be gray for now, because I don't know what else to make it. We need one more red to get this tight. See, once we figure out this circuit, we can make it very, very compact and really, like, clear up all the mess. Alright, so this counter will determine how threatening the dangerous stuff is. So, C4. Let's get a bunch of those. Oh, I forgot to do the counter. Shit. I guess we don't need to trigger that then, do we? We don't. I don't think so. Why are these not active? Right, that should be powered. I guess when it gets its first number? Question mark? Or is it backwards? Is that what I'm seeing? Is that counter backward? It looks like it is. Hold on. How did I... Oh, wow, you can spin it? Okay, can I rotate it now? Is that like a thing? Hold on, this is blowing my mind, guys. No wonder this is on the other side. Okay. I'm thoroughly confused by that. There we go. Okay. Damn, I didn't know you could flip those. That's kind of cool, though. Okay, let's see if we have this right. Yeah, because I was wondering why that wasn't counting anything. I was, like, so confused. So this one here goes to the increment, which should be here. We'll just make that pink or whatever. 2 is the threatening amount. And I forget what goes off of this one. How do we do the other side? Okay. Because maybe I did this one wrong completely. Oh, that sets off the device. That's right, that's right, that's right. Let's wonder what the other output was for. Oh wait, no it doesn't. It's the counter and then the other one goes over to the... Okay, yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. That makes more sense. I think I had that backwards again, right? I'm like second guess myself and I just did this myself. What am I doing? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. I feel like that's... Oh yeah, I don't think I have that right, because if it's a low voltage, they'll always turn it on. Yeah, I did have that backwards. It needs to happen after that. Then it splits. Okay, yeah, I had that backwards. Yeah, that's totally not right. So... this should be nothing. Range shot is 2. Ooh. And then this one comes here to the increment, but it also should split. It's a little confusing. I guess we put a little blue light here, maybe? Let's try that. Blue? Yeah, because I don't know if it doesn't consume that power chunk. I don't know if it, like, lets us pass. So I'm just going to put it there to consume something for now. Can we turn this one too? No. Okay. Well, now we know. That's what hits the counter. Okay, yeah. We'll keep this up. Make this light blue. It's crazy at first, but like once you get a nice pattern, it's very manageable, I think. Even though it looks insane right now, I know. Timer? Where's our timer? Lower. There it is. There it is. Excellent. Actually, no. This shouldn't hit at all. Wait, okay, so the 2 on this side gobbles up 1 and 2 positions. So the leftover, the remainder, which should be this, hits the counter. That's right, this will fuel... Yeah, this will fuel the tick. Yeah. It's getting out of hand, brother. What's happening? I'm sure we can make this more condensed. This is another reason why we're doing it like this. Okay, this timer's just set to 1. That's annoying. Alright, so what should happen here... And we gotta get this super condensed because we got this in a very small bunker. And we don't want to be making too many parts for it either. We're already going to be spending a lot of metal on industrial pieces. Okay, so what's going to happen is the remainder comes off of this. Which is enough to power this? I'm curious. We'll leave that for now, because I'm actually not sure. And this will come and hit the counter. Increment? Increment counter. Oops. And then the hot pink. Oh. But that wasn't enough to set it off. So it begs the question, do we even need that plugged in? Okay, well, let me... Let's get some rock cheese in here and just get it out of here. Bah. Brah. It's gonna work. I love this stuff. I love getting in the lab, dude. It's the best. So this guy consumes 1. Good. So technically, we don't even need this to be powered. This could just be the pink. Well, first of all, let's make sure this works the normal way, and then we can make it tighter. So if we shoot one more, the red light goes off. Oh, it helps if I set it right. Good thing we're testing this, because I'm finding all kinds of errors that I just made. So alright, reset, reset. I think we got it. I think this is it. Okay. Well, having the last piece of that come through and then hit it, looks like that's no bueno. So, glad we checked that. So really what needs to happen is this guy needs to be the power for this. I guess it doesn't matter where these sit. Yeah, that so really we don't need the blue light or anything else, but this is just showing you that it detected something. That's one dangerous shot. Here comes two. Ooh. Now the red light should go off here once that detects it. Okay, that would activate the conveyor system at that point. Which I guess this could be the conveyor system, right? Could be. I mean, it would always be on at that point. Oh, that's right, because it doesn't come. Okay, jeez, I'm so stupid. I was like, why is that not working? It should be off the top of this. That's not part of the detection. I'd say we kind of leave this little flashing light on top, because then you kind of know when stuff's happening outside. And then this down here is always plugged in. And this is the pass-through for that. Okay, yes, 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 yes. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, that filter fail. And then when this goes on, it then triggers this. Okay, this is it. This will detect 2 C4 or 2 rockets. Really, it should be 1, but this is a pretty good start. We got nothing out of this today. At least we got this. Excellent. Alright, let's do it. Okay, just to make sure it's not detecting anything else that's hostile. Didn't count it, but it's picking that up on the seismic sensor. Now this. Okay, yes, I had to reset this. So this next one will turn on the red, but it also turns on this conveyor, which is the evac conveyor. Perfect. And because we have this input here, like this logic gate, we can put a timer on this to say, look, after 30 minutes to an hour, if there's no more rockets or, you know, C4, this can get reset again, you know? And also, because this is controlling this, we can also have this communicate with the other side to say, look, this only happens when, you know, these conditions are met. So that's not bad. Okay, well, we got that going. And we'll say what? We have 6 of those. Are nasty. We had a splitter, a branch down here. Really could be either one of these. This was green. Okay, yeah. We had the green one. That's right. We changed it so much, I find myself looking at this pretty heavily. I don't think we really used... Yeah, I guess we did. This is mostly just the detection unit. Pink. What was the output? If we make that... I guess we make this one orange. Conditions are met. It goes up and in. And I think the other one goes to their set. I believe. That's interesting. I was able to modify right there at that point. That's crazy. Oh, you just tap it once. Okay, so you can kind of back it up. Alright, alright. Pass through. There you go. And then whatever comes off of this is the signal, and that was hot pink. Excellent. Beautiful, beautiful. So, after seeing the SKS in action, we could probably set that to 4 because the rapid fire succession. You know what I mean? Maybe like 5? That's interesting. What we could do this. The inverted maybe goes down here and hits the off. Right, so at least the conveyor shuts down. I haven't thought about that. So that it's funny, they may think they're actually getting the count on it, but it's not doing anything. Interesting. So the inverted didn't really do it. Isn't there like a toggle? Is that even right? That works, right? That works. So I didn't reset this. Okay, let's try this one more time. Alright, so it turns on. We want it to be controlled through here, so if this is on and then this goes off. Oh, that's got to be reset at the same time. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so when the power comes on, it should also split it. Okay. This is a lot more complex than I thought, brother. So as this signal is good, right? Try that again. So really it's going to wait for this to reset. But when this happens, you should just clear it. Yeah, this one's the one right here. Because then everything's controlled through this, and we don't have to worry about the clear. It's getting heady, boys. I like it though. Because now when this clears, the indicator for this goes off and that conveyor goes off. So then we can start to send signals via the other base. Or we just run a cable across, whatever. So like the other base can communicate to this one. You know what I mean? Because the idea is, if they hit this one and then this one, we got to get those different conditions. Oh, we have the testers set up here now. This is a pretty heady circuit. Yeah, having the blue light helps because then you know if something else is going off. Like in your perimeter, that shouldn't be, because sometimes knowing that range can be a little hectic. What's up? Xander says, what are you doing right now? I am doing very crazy. So if one base gets raided, it'll send its loot to this one, but it's going to be smart, where like if somebody knows that it's a smart base, and they shoot one wall, and they're like, okay, now let's raid this base, it'll know better. So like, it's not going to start transferring loot, because like, I don't want it to, if somebody just shoots the side of the wall, like that, I don't want it to automatically dump its contents. It's like, what's the threshold of danger? So like, 4 satchels or a volley of these SKS rounds will send this and then send the loot from this base to the other one. But this is only going to detect what's around this base. But it'll be smart enough to know if somebody raids, if somebody hits this to activate it, and then they fully raid this, this will know to then stop sending its loot, and then this one will be active, so then it'll send the loot over there. So this is actually detecting, this sensor is detecting rockets and C4 and counting it, and this one's detecting SKS and satchels. So the threshold right now is like 2 or 3. So watch. These lights will go off to indicate that it's detecting something. This counter goes up for the hostile counter for this type of weapon. And then this is active and will dump its loot when this lights up, and then this turns green. Still not active. This would like dump the contents of like C4 or whatever in your base. Now that it's 3, this is active. It reset the counter, and this is dumping its loot. So now this only needs one signal from here. So if the other base needs to communicate, it would send the frequency here and say, hey, look, they volleyed this base and they're raiding the other one, so stop sending this one. So if it sends that signal, it stops it from sending. But then this base, or whatever, is detecting the hostile stuff. This will activate still. So like, it's smart enough to know what's going on. And then once we have that, I'm going to put a cooldown timer on all this. So like, you know, after 30 minutes, everything goes back to 0 again. Because, you know, after 30 minutes, like, the base has already kind of healed itself. There you go, counted 1. Because I figure after 2 rockets or 2 C4, it's staged. Probably after 1. But it should work the same way. Like, each base will have these circuits. So now this one's dumping its contents. You know what's interesting? If they do overlap like that, maybe we just kind of leave it, right? So this one, after 2 rockets, I consider that hostile, or 2 C4. This is going to then turn it on. Yeah, so it was like, how do we make a base very compact, you know, as small as possible, jam everything in, and then we have one box near the TC room that is like the evac box, so like C4, scrap, or whatever. And like, when that goes off, even if somebody smokes this wall and starts coming in, it's still not enough time. It'll dump its contents from this one to the next one. And the idea is, once we have this dialed in, we can have 3 of them, so then you have to fully raid 3 bases to get anything of substance. Is PC harder? What do you mean? No, we're doing it here because we have mouse and keyboard access. Legitimately. It's tight and compact. So now that we have the proof of concept working, and it's counting various conditions, I think we can combine them. These are separate circuits. I have a question. Yes? Go ahead. course, we have Rocket Man coming in. I'm gonna get waxed. So I'm trying to think. This is, how do you do this, bro? It says IQ is 899. A high IQ would be like 830 or above. Or I'm sorry, 830, 130 and above. I think, okay, so this detects rockets and C4, and this detects satchels and expo rounds. I'm pretty sure we can combine these. And then the question is, then we can condense it, so, because we want it to fit on the wall, and then we'll just, it's just a pattern match at that point. It's like, look, maybe you want to learn how to do it, sweet, but like, all you got to do is replicate the pattern here on the wall, and then you're good. Each base will have the same thing. And then we just got to work on some of the details for like the wall being ripped. Because if it's touching this wall or this wall, it doesn't matter. Even if they go in with like a flash ray where like somebody comes up and throws a bunch of C4 on these walls, it's still going to be enough C4 to activate the sensors. And by the time they get to the sensors, even if they know it's there, it's going to be too late. So they would have already wasted like what, 4 or 6 C4, and then they have to go to the next one. Says our wipes monthly now? When in the month do they happen? You haven't played in a while. It's the last Thursday of the month. For monthlies. Oh, weekly, bro. Do it, you won't. Pussy. Yeah, now imagine these are HQM bunkers. And now some Zerg comes by and goes, yeah, I'm gonna raid this guy. And I know where his stuff is. I know it's a smart bunker. It's like, bro, you're gonna have to raid 3 bunkers. And I promise you, if you're a Zerg, and I'm a solo or a duo, whatever's in my bunker ain't gonna be worth 3 of them. Eat a dick. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is a bit more circuitry than I thought. So I think we can condense it. So like once we get this good, we can really pack it tight. Right? You're right. So we're looking at like 1,200 metal off this wall. Maybe 2,000 if you get both of them for the detection system. To be fair, we did fit it in a half wall, so technically we can have this fit in like a large wall somewhere. Oh, I know, shit. If we don't use the other side as, it could just be this wall. Straight up. That's one way. That's awesome. It says I need a way to move loot if I'm getting raided. Dude, imagine 3 of these, dog. These are all HQM, whatever, right? And there's 3 of them just chilling here. It doesn't matter which one you pick, it's always going to be the last one. Even if you, and that's what this system does, it checks to see if you're volleying between the 2. So if you go, oh, I'll shoot this one and then the loot's on the other 2, and then I'll shoot this one and then all the loot's there, that's not how it works. It's whichever one you're putting the heat on, and then it can change. And then if you're raiding all 3, the loot will be in a continuous circle until you break one, and then when these 2 are still active, they'll still juggle between these until you're down to 1. Dude, 3 high quality bunkers? That is nasty. Right? It's like, if you're spending that much money to get a solo, you must have pissed off a Zerg. And even then, they're not going to get enough for it to, like, be good. Right? Because you just want to be moving C4, we call it cake, but what is it? Explosives. Rockets. And all that stuff, right? You just move it. So, like, even if they break into 1, it's like, look, they didn't get a discounted raid. They didn't get shit. And I guess you could add as many buildings as you want. So then the the probability of them getting in is much worse. Yeah, there you go. Theoretically, you can make like 20 of these. Yes. Now, I did loop it. Let's see. It does start to break down. It would have to be an even number. No, I'm sorry. That's not right. I did do a test to see like just the juggling system that sends it out. You can do 3, which is kind of crazy. 3 is a lot. But yeah, I guess you could. So the thing is, you don't want to. They all have to be interconnected, right? So if you added more buildings, the wall that's the intake and output would be a bit like deeper. Like you take up more space. But yeah, you could do it. Because the thing is you want to be interconnected to the other ones. Because you don't want it to be this. Because this, I mean, then you just break one in the chain and then it's over. So like, if it's like this, oops, that's not a circle, is it? That's not how you paint. If it's a circle, you don't want them to cut it off at like here, and then, you know what I mean? Like, if they cut off 2 areas and they're like, oh, these like 5 in this row are just immediately like alienated, then they can, like, once they isolate, then they'll just attack that. Like, you want it so like they're interconnected. So like one side is sending to the other, and then this side sending to this side. Like you want them like connected. Oops. I meant to hit undo. This is a terrible diagram. I'm going to erase it. I thought it looked cool for a second, but it's not. I got it all messed up. I just need to use normal paint. But yeah, this system is counting what's hostile and what's not. So I would say either 1 or 2 C4 rockets would be considered hostile, and then, because think about it, if they're just doing it to tickle a base, 2 is like, you're committing to something. You're blowing a stone wall at least. But even still, like, what's great is, as soon as the other base gets more hostility, it shuts off the evac from the base you tickled, and then everything's being dumped into that anyway. And then same thing, like, if the base that's been semi-tickled gets more heat, then it starts sending its loot over to the other one. And what's even better is when there's 3, when it sends it off, it sends it to the other 2, so it splits it, which is disgusting. Yeah, 3 is a lot more devastating because it does the split. So, like, you have no chance to juggle, even if you know what's going on. Even if you know the design and you hear it clicking, there's nothing you can do. And we can do this on console too. See, what I would do is have my main, then a couple of these bunkers around 100%. 100%. Yeah, that's what it's designed to do. The little tiny bunkers are supposed to be compact and very low maintenance, you know, but high, like, protection. And we're trying to do it based off of, well, first, hey, what's up, buddy? What we're trying to do is do it off something that we know we can always use in terms of, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, some bunkers and offsets, like, it come and go. This will always work because it's using the normal rules of the game. So, like, you have a door here, and so, like, as long as you've got this open, you spawn in here, and then you can pass the connections through. Even if they blow this door, it doesn't matter. They can't get in. They still have to raid it. So this becomes a kill bunker, essentially, at some point. And you always have your sleeping bag inside, and you just keep stacking loot inside here. Like, it is just like a beacon to absorb whatever you send it. And, like, look at the cost on this. It's stupid cheap. Like that. You know what I mean? Gross. And really, if you just make honeycomb outside that's just metal, you don't even technically have to go HQM. 2 metal is still more defense than 1 high quality, so whatever you can maintain. And then you put a little box on top of the TC here, and you can automatically feed it its upkeep too. Cheap, super cheap. But see, you don't always have to have it high quality. Like, if it's just metal, 2 metal is super annoying, and that's a high quality. You know what I mean? So it's like, and even when they break in, Then what? They're gonna raid some more? If you put 2 layers of metal and then have stone, it's nasty. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this is definitely meant to like to be moved. And what's cool is these pipes are invincible. The only thing that's vulnerable are these connectors, but you can wrap this connector in the frame here. So even if you flash hit the side, it's by the time you get in, it's already gone. You know, by the time, even if they're like, yeah, we gotta hit these 2 walls and there's 2 guys up here throwing C4, when they activate it and they come in and try to kill that like connector piece, well, A, we can have more than 1 connector, so joke's on them. But like, if they try to flash hit it, it would, dude, everything of value would be out of there in seconds. So it's like, by the time that second run of C4 goes off, it's over. They can't do anything. Beautiful. You know what I mean? Because like big compounds as a small player, like a small group or just solo, is so it tracks everybody on the damn server. So like making a big compound isn't always the answer, especially if you're just going solo, dude. Oh, we even found too, if you get it close to the other TC, you can put it on the ground like this, or you can just have it go across and say, "You, I don't care." But there is enough slack, even if you wrap it around. There's like 3 meters left, which is the width of another tile. So it's pretty good. Like I said, even if they know what's going on, it's not going to help. And we can get enough battery power in here that it's going to last days, because this circuit doesn't take much. So even if they take out solar panels, it's not going to do anything. Boom. So we were trying to work in like there's other types of bunkers to like pull through, but like they've been kind of pinching down on some of those, and plus there's a difference between our version and the PC version. So like subtle, but there's some stuff. So I was like, and if that's the case, if it gets clamped down, we just know that having the standard way is always going to work. So that's what we're doing. Science. Science in industry. Let me, I kind of want to clean up a few more pieces and then try one other thing here. And then I think we'll wrap it and then we'll go to Factorio a little bit later. Yeah, I'm not saying all big bases are bad. I'm just saying for the people that are trying to play more low-key and they're always getting targeted, it's usually because of the walls in a larger compound. So, but you're right though. If you have a bigger base and you have these in like as area TCs, just little small like thick bunkers, it has a multi-role. Like you can use it to spread the loot, but you can also use it to like so people can't grief you. You remember you just put a couple of those chains or whatever that come from the TC that pinch up towards the main. So people just don't use industrial enough. There's only a handful of people I can think of that have used it really well, that are creators, or even that I've seen in the wild. So it's like, dude, this is... I mean, I guess this was the first thing I thought of when we had got industrial. I was like, bro, we can skis the loot. Yeah, because we did this now for concept, but I'm pretty sure we can tighten this up. If we get good enough, maybe we can fit these 2 circuits in one half wall in the base. That would be sick. Especially after you do this circuit a couple times, it's kind of become second nature. Oh, because it's still got the count. Oh, that's right. Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to come back to this, because I think adding the extra layer where it's got a timer and then clears it is going to be like another thing. But even if you just did a basic one, most people aren't going to know to juggle hit one of these and then go hit the other one. So you could technically just do it in the most basic of sensors. It would still work. Anyways, let me check on something, and then we'll try to do one more piece because I do want to do a little bit of Factorio tonight. All right, hang on, burb. Hello. Yeah, you could do HBF sensors, but your counts are gonna change. Seismic sensors detect real threats. If somebody could just kind of walk in front. Although HBF sensors are really good for perimeter slash turret activation, sure. But like with this one, it's smart enough to know the difference between an AK round. So like this counts heavies and this counts satchels and AK round or SKS. I'm sorry, explosive rounds. So that hit the threshold. So then it would evac. So we can reset that. And then it goes, oh, only, and this is expo rounds, this isn't anything else. And then if somebody throws, you know, one of these, then the heavy counter goes up, and then that'll evac too. And you can set the range of the seismic sensor too. Yeah, when this light goes on and this goes on, it's active. Really, this should probably be set to 1 instead of 2. Yeah, but you see how this went up? That's the most hostile. If we shoot this, the green goes off, which means the seismic sensors know the difference between what kind of rounds are being shot. Like, you can shoot high velocities and they only count as, I think, white. It's pretty non-threatening. It's just these sensors right here picking it up. That was a rocket, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Oh yeah, oops, I forgot to put in HVs. My bad. See, that only was 1. These will detect, this goes white, green, red. This only detects green and up. This only detects reds. So you start to see like, oh, okay. Makes sense. But yeah, to answer your question, it could be HBF, sure. But like, I don't think you'd need these counters, because then it's not clear cut when an HBF sensor goes off. But you could, sure. It's like, if it's just detecting people, it's like one person could stand by one base while you raid the other. Know what I mean? Or your loot's always shifting even when people walk by. But I guess that's a thought. I mean, if we put more modifiers on it, we could technically make it more robust. And then if you can find a state that's like chaos around your base, you could technically put it in like 100% cloud mode, which means the loot is constantly going between all 3, and it's splitting. So you never really know what's in each base, and then we'll stop sending once they're destroyed. So as long as you put it like where the core is, where you know they're gonna get splashed, that's like perfect, you know? That rain is very hypnotic, isn't it? I might just zone out. It's like, what? Let's see. I was thinking about the timer. These little lights here could be good for activating the timer, so it's like, these maybe always go back to 0 after like 20 minutes or something. 10 minutes, whatever. Maybe like 5 minutes, I don't know. Yeah, but after testing this, it's pretty obvious that this probably needs to be 1 as opposed to 2. This could be like, I don't know, 3 or something. Yeah, once we figure out those individual pieces, we're good to go. Should we try to condense it before we go? Let's see. Well, you know what? It's been 3 hours. Maybe we stop here for now. Plus, I think a lot of people probably don't like... They're like, I'm out of here. This is boring. That's okay. We're doing it for us. It's doing it for me. Alright guys, let's we'll wrap this one up here. We'll continue this again tomorrow. We're gonna start some Factorio here in about 30-ish minutes. So yeah, hang tight. We're gonna be doing a little bit of that, and we do have our. Is it this week? No, it's next week. Is the big update? Well, the quality of life update for real. And then hopefully in December we get some kind of update for PTB. We'll see. Hopefully it's a big one. We had one last time, so... Alright guys, we'll see you in a little bit in Factorio.